Hi everyone, welcome to my channel for becoming a web developer. Today is the fourth lecture of the series. We will be discussing about Bootstrap and responsive designs in this series. So let's talk about Bootstrap. In this lecture, we will be discussing what is responsive UI, Bootstrap usage. We will talk about web page layout, Bootstrap usage example, and then I'll assign a homework to you guys. So let's start with the lecture. Responsive UI is a UI which adapts to the screen. So if the screen size is small, the UI is becomes smaller or different without distorting all of the layout, or without giving you a bad look on a smaller screen and uh, or a bad look on a bigger screen. So it adapts to the size of the screen. That's how the responsive UI works. So the way responsive UI is achieved is through CSS. You remember in the last lecture I gave you an homework assignment to search on responsive UI and create a responsive UI page just using CSS. uh, so responsive UI is achieved through CSS, and it has fluid design, and it has containers which work fluidly or which move along the size of the screen that they are rendered on. What is Bootstrap? So since there was a need for a framework which will make our life easier, or which will make us write less CSS, because we have been writing CSS for a long time now, more than a decade, uh, and we everyone was thinking that can there be some way that all of those that CSS can be combined together to create a framework, and that's how Bootstrap came into existence. And now all of the HTML pages, almost all of the HTML pages, and all of the web developers, they work with Bootstrap, and they kind of know how to use Bootstrap. And if you go look for a job outside for a web developer, usually it is expected that you have basic to intermediate knowledge of Bootstrap, and you can utilize it in your daily web development job. So let's start with how Bootstrap can help us. So um classes and IDs in HTML tags. So classes and IDs are also one of the attributes of the HTML tag, as we discussed in introduction to HTML. So inside classes we define classes. A tag can have multiple classes but only one ID, and ID is unique throughout the HTML page, whereas a single page cannot have multiple IDs, so every item has unique ID. So with the ID we can define that, we can actually identify the tag. With the class we can identify the class of the tag. So there can be multiple tags which belong to the same class, or which belong to different classes, and that's how we use classes and IDs. uh, so once the classes are added, and CSS is applied to the element, uh, inside the HTML tag attribute class, we add Bootstrap classes, which in turn apply the CSS to that element, and that's how Bootstrap works. We don't need to write custom CSS or too much of CSS. We might need some minor changes to our elements, maybe some color changes or something like that, but major changes are done by Bootstrap. uh, so Bootstrap kind of divides the page into 12 columns, and there can be multiple rows. And it's not a physical division, it's a logical division of 12 columns. So each page is divided into 12 columns. Depending on the screen size, it can be small, medium, large, or extra small column. So it's divided into 12 columns, and you can use each column or combine multiple columns together, or divide the columns into multiple columns to get your desired effect or desired layout. So web page layout. In every web page, you can see rows and columns. For example, let's take github.com. So if I go to github.com right here, you can see this page is divided into one and two rows, and then I can see one, two, three columns. The second row is divided into three columns. Then I can see that first column is divided into one, two, and three and four rows, and then I can see that middle column is divided into one, two, three, four, and five rows. And then if I go to the third column, I can see one, two, three, four, five rows. So that's how it works. If similarly, if I go to the top, which is navigation, I can see here is the link, then search bar and everything is in here. So that's how usually it works for Bootstrap. So Bootstrap will have kind of following: header for page header, nav for navigation. Header will be proper tag header, then nav for navigation, section for body page, and then footer for the footer of the page. So if we see here, here is the header, and then here is the navigation inside the header, and this is the footer of the page, and this section over here is the body or content of the page. Link to Bootstrap. So all we need to do is go to Bootstrap. Let me see. Bootstrap right here and get bootstrap.com, and you don't need to download anything. You just need to copy this link, Bootstrap CDN, and place it inside your file. So if you look here, uh, I have added this link right here into my file. That's how you add the Bootstrap link. You don't need to go or change any CSS or do any or download anything and add it to your add it to your project. You just need to add the link from the browser for the CSS file. As you can see, bootstrap.min.css is the file, and you're good to go. Okay, so Bootstrap classes. Bootstrap has actually good documentation. If you go to getbootstrap.com right here, and if you look at the documentation, you will get a good know-how of document. Like for example, the layouts. You can see the layouts are defined and everything. You just need to add classes for this. Or if you want to look at the examples, these are all the pages which are created through Bootstrap. Look at this page. So everything you see here, for example, is created through Bootstrap, and that's how Bootstrap is used. Jumbotron navigation bar examples in experiments, everything you can find actually here, and framework examples. So it's a really good resource. But even if you want to go through a shorter route and look at some cheat sheet stuff, you can see classes right here. So all of these are classes which are being used inside Bootstrap, or for Bootstrap. Okay, Bootstrap example. So I created this page, my simple page. um, Let me show you how it renders. uh, okay, let's open it from here. Oh, sorry, the wrong place. Let's open it from here. Revealing Explorer, and we open it up. So as you can see, there's navigation, home, features, sign in. There is sign in page, there is search in the navigation bar, there is sign in form with button, there is copyright, and then register button. Just a simple page. But if you look inside the page, here's the HTML of this page. As you can see, but there is no link to CSS or anything. So this is the page which is being rendered. So if I want to make the page look pretty, I add the Bootstrap CSS, then I add the class, navigation bar class, everything is added here. You can see nav bar expand, and I did not write any custom CSS for this page. So this page is rendered uh, all in all through Bootstrap. And let's see how this page looks after being rendered through CSS. Okay, double click the page on, and here it is. So you can see this is my page, and all I did was add CSS Bootstrap link to my head tag and applied some classes over on the top, and this is how the page looks. Now look at the difference between this page and this page, and look how the CSS has rendered the whole form, navigation bar, search, and this is how it has done. So I would highly recommend go through the HTML that I have written and then go through the CSS that I have written, and once you're done with that, then start with creating a responsive profile page, the profile page that you created in the last lecture. Just go and add a Bootstrap to it. You can get a lot of examples online for the Bootstrap. Just choose those examples. Maybe you want to use blog or cover or carousel, any custom components you want to use. Just go download it, or link, add the link, and just check it out. This is like the form that you can check out. So this is all free, so just go take one of the pages, apply the layout, create your profile page to look like it, and that's how you use Bootstrap. If you have any questions, you know the email address, and you can reach out to me for any question, and just email me, and hopefully I'll be able to respond within 24 hours. uh, Thank you for watching the video. Please do subscribe to my channel. Create I'm gonna upload the next video, and next lecture will be on JavaScript. It will be a really important lecture, introduction to JavaScript, so don't miss it. Do subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.